So you're in range, you've got the right yardage for your 3-wood into a par 5, and you want to be able to attack that hole, but you know you're really struggling with 3-wood. Today's video is going to help you overcome that doubt and be able to hit 3-wood with confidence when you're within range on a par 5, because everyone wants to attack par 5s, don't they? Hello everyone, and welcome back into the Below Par YouTube channel today with myself, Joe Stevens. If you are new here, welcome first of all, and if you do enjoy today's content, please do press that subscribe button. It really does help us out. And if you're a reoccurring viewer and you haven't already subscribed, please do press that red button. It really does help us out. We've started to set like targets. I did it in my previous video, and I think we did all right with that one. So 50 likes. Drop a like down below if you feel as if this video helps you today. Without further ado, let's jump into the video and help you hit your 3-wood, or be confident hitting your 3-wood to be able to attack par 5s. So you've got 3-wood then, you've got your perfect yardage, you know how far your 3-wood goes, but you're not confident from the fairway with your 3-wood in order to get to the green, which should be within reach. You're confident off of the tee with your fairway wood, which is understandable. On a tee, it makes life easier, right? But we need to be able to get you golfers out there confident hitting your fairway wood with the least loft from the fairway and be able to attack the par 5s like you see the guys on TV do. Quite often nowadays, because they're hitting it so far, they're often not hitting fairway metals into par 5s anymore. They're hitting 7-irons, but maybe there'll be adjustments in the future for that. But for the purpose of today's video, you've got a perfect yardage for your 3-wood hitting into a par 5. I'm going to take you through the necessary steps in order to be confident with this shot, and just maybe mention a few common mistakes that I see also. So let's jump into point number 1 that I see, and this is going to be the overriding thought process that we need to make when we're hitting our fairway wood off of the floor or off of the turf into a par 5. Now, the most common mistake that I see is the golf ball position too far forwards in the stance, almost where we would expect driver to be. Now, I understand why golfers do this, because it gives the sensation of trying to launch that golf ball up in the air. But with that golf ball so far forwards, we've got to work a heck of a long way laterally in order to strike that golf ball first. Quite often what happens then is that we're very steep into the golf ball, or the most common is that we swing as we normally would, trying to help that golf ball up in the air. The club's going to bottom out somewhere behind the golf ball, and we're going to lose all of that forwards momentum that we potentially could create if we were striking that golf ball first. So ball position is the first thing that I'd like to talk about today. For the purpose of today's video and this set technique, it's not going to work for absolutely everyone, but I would bet that at least 90% of the viewers of this video that struggle with 3-wood off the fairway will benefit from this tip. So what we're looking for ball position wise then is we'd like to find the halfway point between the middle of our stance and my front foot. So we're just going to move it back ever so slightly, somewhere around there. Hopefully you can see that nice and clearly from a face-on view. So it still gives us the opportunity to sweep the ball off of the turf. We don't want it too far back, otherwise we're going to be almost digging and taking lots of loft off. But what we'd like to try and find is the halfway point between the middle and the front of our stance, which will look a little bit like this. Now, hand position, this is something that's really important. Now, what a lot of people will do in order to try and get that golf ball up in the air is they'll bring their hands backwards. That's going to be something that fills them with confidence to try and get that golf ball up in the air. 15 degrees is a lot of loft actually if we're swinging the golf club correctly, and we've got ample loft to get that golf ball going up in the air. So we don't necessarily need to help the golf ball up in the air. I'll link in the card above common mistakes that golfers make. This is point number 1 actually in that video, spoiler alert. It's understandable why golfers will want to help the golf ball up in the air, but it hinders more than it helps. Golf club lofts are there to help you. Okay, so we've got our setup then. With our hands, I'd much rather find a neutral position and then an ever so slight forward press. That's going to give us the sensation of we're not trying to help that golf ball up in the air, and we're trying to swing down and through that golf ball. In the practice swings, this is where we can start to get the right sort of pattern. Now, we're going to swing through this golf shot very much like we would a hybrid or a long iron. We're trying to sweep that golf ball off of the top, but we do even though it's a fairway wood, we do still want, the clue is right in front of you here, we do still want some interaction with the turf. We want to be almost feeling as if we're taking a 2-inch scrape of the grass or graze of the grass after the golf ball. The way we're going to do that is make sure that we're turning up to the top of our backswing and then transferring everything down towards the golf ball, club returning neutral with the hands, hitting the golf ball first, and an ever so slight graze of the grass as we turn the golf club through our swing. So that's the 2 main points then. Let's just quickly recap them very quickly. Halfway point between the middle of our stance and our front foot with an ever so slight forward press with our hands. That's going to give us a sensation of not trying to help that golf ball up in the air. We're going to swing down and through that golf ball and graze the grass. Let's show you from down the line what I see a lot of as well. So I've got my setup then, I'm setting up down the line, and what I see a lot of golfers do when I say to golfers we need interaction with the turf, what happens is we see a big thud through the golf ball, and that comes from a really steep angle of approach. Now, yes, we do want some interaction with the turf here, but what's really important is that we are sweeping that ball off the turf with a graze of the grass rather than a dig into the grass. The club will probably help prevent that dig because of the shape and there's a big sole, but we're going to knock some distance off because we're probably going to see added spin. So the main thought I would like you to think about is, yes, we do want that interaction with the grass, but we get that interaction with the grass by transferring our weight through onto our left leg and turning through this way. And I say it to beginners all the time, show off the bottom of your shoes. If you're hanging back and trying to help that golf ball up in the air, all the weight will be on your right leg and you won't be able to see the shoes from him behind. So really basic tip, but really effective. Make sure you're transferring that weight through to your left hand side in order to get that interaction with the turf, rather than getting your hands coming straight down onto the top of the golf ball. They're the main points that I'd really like you to think about when you're hitting this golf shot, and it should really help you. Trust the loft, adjust the ball position to where we want it to be, get the interaction with the turf through transferring through to your left leg and turning around that left leg. I'll show you from this view here very quickly. Up the top, and we're transferring through around this left leg rather than from down the line trying to get the turf interaction through steepness of the club coming down into the golf ball. With all that in mind, hopefully that really helps you. I'm going to show you my swing now from the fairway, and hopefully I can knock it on this par 5 and start to think a little bit more attacking in my rounds of golf. If you have enjoyed today's content, guys, please do press that like button, and if you haven't already, like we said at the beginning, please do press that subscribe button. And if you are someone that really likes their 3-wood, let me know down below, because I'd like to see a percentage of golfers. I'd say the higher percentage will probably be not so confident with 3-wood, but I know a few golfers that actually 3-wood's their favourite club in the bag. So like I said, I'm going to hit my shot now. If you have enjoyed today's content, thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.